Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the chairman of Senate Commerce and Labor, Ray Hagar, has the rundown.
Thanks, Sam. You know, the top employees at the Nevada legislature are set to retire just about the same time term limits kick out our most experienced lawmakers. This could lead to stupid government, like we don't have it now. Senator Randolph Townsend is next to talk about it.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Elisa Major, Joe Guild, and Scott Bensing. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, welcome to the program, an old friend of this show, State Senator Randolph Townsend. Pleasure to have you here as always.
It's always good to be back.
Okay, you received a National Award for Leadership in Renewable Energy. Tell us what that was all about.
Well, it was interesting. Last session we had a bill that we thought was very important. We were trying to figure out how to marry all the challenges in energy, and we have always strongly believed, the legislature and most of the governors have believed, that Nevada leads the nation in obviously solar and geothermal. So what we did was we created a bill that no one else has ever copied that allows people who create energy efficient buildings can get a property tax relief. They have to apply for it. They have to, be certified at a thing called a LEED standard. Very exciting stuff, so that we're starting to look long term, but it also encourages our power company to get into the renewable business. And no one has ever done that at the specific level we did. So it was pretty exciting, and they were nice enough to acknowledge that. So it's really an honor for the whole state and all my colleagues that worked on it.
Well, as you look at what's happening with natural gas, you got to be pretty excited about that Northern Lights company that we had the folks on from in the early part of the week coming here to bring in this new transmission line.
Yes, that transmission line that the entire West needs, and of course the great thing about Nevada is we're right there in the center. Nobody can kind of get around us. That's going to be a great opportunity for us to bring less expensive energy while we evolve into the renewable world. world, which should happen over the next 20 years, we can get much cheaper electricity. We can meet our peak demand. Nevada doesn't have a baseload problem. We have a peak problem, and it is very severe, north and south. So that's what we have to deal with. And the Northern Lights project is an exciting one. So in fact, I was just in Arizona talking to the governor and her staff about tying into that. So there's a lot of regional things going on that are pretty exciting.
Senator, you in 06 you will be running for re-election for the last time because of term limits. Not only you, Senator Washington, Senator Matthews, Senator Amedee, all some big heavy hitters from the north. But also, it's going to be about the time when the top people in the Legislative Council Bureau are going to retire. This is like a perfect storm of bad government, isn't it?
Well, we think so. One of the things that I did as chairman of the commission was to ask for an item called the graying of the Legislative Council Bureau, which was the history of who can retire and when they can retire. All of our top people in fiscal, as well as all of our administrators, our analysts, our auditors. You know, we audit every entity in the state of Nevada every 5 years and make them accountable, et cetera. All of those people can retire at the same time term limits kicks in. And so we've tried to figure out a way to transition and bring people in and train them quickly so that when that happens, when those people do retire from the Council Bureau, the new legislators will have really, really good, competent help, because without our Legislative Council Bureau, I'll tell you, there isn't a legislator down there that could survive this job and do it well in representing the public.
Okay, is there a major effort going on underway right now to fight this term limits? Well, I think it's the stupidest thing we've ever passed.
There is a case in front of the Supreme Court. It's, I believe, Connor versus McGinnis, in which a gentleman who challenged Senator McGinnis, he challenged on the basis that the term limits thing was retroactive, not prospective. That's now in front of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has the right to take the entire issue and look at it. In 7 other jurisdictions where that issue came forward, their Supreme Courts found term limits to be unconstitutional. I don't know whether our court will take it on as an issue. We are not a party to it. Obviously, it affects the people you just acknowledged, so we won't be a party to it. The Council Bureau, whoever the chairman of the Legislative Commission is at the time, may authorize an opportunity to participate in that. It's a big challenge, and when you look at it from a Northern Nevada perspective, I think it's a real problem for Northern Nevada because of the seniority that so many of us have here.
You might as well just get rid of the legislature and just have the lobbyists run everything.
Well, some of them think they do now, but we'd like to make sure that they're fully clear on how it works.
But Senator, aren't some of the top lobbyists, they're also going to retire in maybe 10 years, so what we're going to have is inexperienced lawmakers, inexperienced lobbyists, and inexperienced people in the Legislative Council Bureau.
Exactly. It is ripe for disaster. And that's why I think the public has to pay very close attention to all these elections and all the rules and regulations that are drafted. It's not just when the legislature is in session. An awful lot of work is done for them in the interim, and they have to be active and participate, and hopefully it'll all work out.
Maybe we should start a whole thing on this program to get rid of term limits. It'd be a good thing. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with State Senator Randolph Townsend after this.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping. During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Happy Hour at the Peppermill.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we're continuing our discussion with State Senator Randolph Townsend. You're on the President's Commission on the Mentally Ill, and as part of that role, you spoke in Phoenix recently about things that they're doing in the downtown for the homeless and the mentally ill. Would you address that for a moment?
It's very exciting. What the original the purpose of the President's Commission was. It had been 25 years since another president, President Carter, had put this into place. President Bush wanted us to go down into the, where the rubber meets the road, where people who needed services actually are looking for them. Who is providing them? How is it done? Let's look at the efficiency, etc. And the wonderful things are being done in northern Nevada that have happened have gone to a large scale in Arizona. And because their capital is also their largest city, largest county, etc., they were able to put a public-private partnership together and create a human resource campus, the likes of which I've never seen. It was absolutely overwhelming. And so we were there to congratulate them, wish them well. And that's the kind of thing we hope to see in urban centers. We'd like to see it in Las Vegas. I think that the mayor and the county commission chair should get on a plane and go down there and see this, and it will help them develop their own plans. We don't want to make it cookie cutter. It's got to be for each community. But the fact that they can come in and they can get medical treatment, and they can get food, and they can get housing, and they can get transition, and they can get meds, and they can get all the things they need and jobs is phenomenal. And they have done it well. And the high-tech nature of it was shocking. I was very impressed.
Are there things that you're already working on for Nevada in this way?
Yeah, we have tried to leave it to more of a local entity, like the two communities that we have, the two urban communities. But of course, the state plays a major role in those. What we are trying to encourage them to do is to find their own way. But there are certain things you got to have. You've got to have all these services in one place. Otherwise, people with mental illness are just going to find their own way. They're going to get mental health services somewhere, and it's likely to be the jail. We've already faced that in the north. We don't want to have that anymore. We want to have these people get legitimate services. And Clark County's a kind of a separate kind of thing. They're much bigger. Their turfs are much more, I believe, entrenched. When you look at the PET project up here, how well that went with public and private partnerships, that went very easily. They've still got 3 or 4 fights going on just to deal with animal services down there, let alone with people with mental illness. So it's a little bit bigger challenge in the South.
Senator, as the chair of the Commerce and Labor's Committee, you will be faced with, when you go back to this session, a red-hot economy that is taking in a lot of tax money. Do you feel that the legislature needs to roll back some of these taxes that were part of the $836 million package?
We are collecting at a rate that is just overwhelming. And we just sent out those checks to the public for $300 million. We are likely to have even a greater amount in this coming year based on the projections that I've followed this month by month. And it's obvious that we're over-collecting. We need to define one-shot money. There's 2 different phases of one-shot money. There's one-shot money that you only spend once and you move existing programs into for a new building. Then there's one-shot money to build a building where you're going to create more programs that are built into the base budget. I think the public needs to understand those because those are 2 separate items. There's a number of other things that we can do to help them better understand what it takes to operate state and local government. I think the over-collection is going to run headlong. I'm talking about a locomotive crash into another locomotive, with the problems in Clark County and what they're facing, and the fact that they collect a lot more money than the state does, have a larger ending fund balance than the state does, and they're facing this issue with the law enforcement tax, and whether it was for more cops or raises and all. I think you're getting ready for a very, very exciting and tumultuous time.
Okay, let me follow up. So what do you want to roll back? Because the excess is in sales tax and gaming taxes, correct? Would you roll back those taxes, or would you roll back the bank tax, for example, the business tax?
Well, I don't want to be political and say, well, we'll look at them all and we'll do all of that. I think the one thing that we need to do is we do need to look at the payroll tax and that has to be analyzed on the following basis. We put it in as a gross payroll tax. Perhaps it should be capped. That debate went on. It didn't go on for very long. Maybe that should be looked at in that way. Industry-specific tax, like the banks, that has to be looked at. If there's a way to roll back some of the sales tax that might increase revenue, I think we all understand it, starting with John F. Kennedy. If you cut taxes, revenues increase. I think we have to look at that. And I think some of the components of the increase in gaming have to be looked at. They all have to be looked at and ratcheted back. We're collecting too much money. It belongs to the public, and I would think that most of my colleagues would agree. We don't need to collect it and then turn around and send it back to them in a check. That doesn't make any sense. We just don't need to collect it in the first place.
Can I just clarify? Yeah. So you would be in favor of rolling back some of the gaming tax?
I think we ought to roll back any tax that we increased. And it may be just in the payroll area. You've got to remember, they pay the payroll tax as well. So if we roll back payroll, that will include all gaming. And so that, you just have to be fair. I don't think we were fair last time. I think there was such an angry mob of who we're going to get and why we're going to get it. And it doesn't matter what the budget is, and we're going to collect. There was just a lack of respect in the legislature. There was an intensity about opposition from all the parties that we could never get a step back to say, what's reasonable, what do we need, and what's good tax policy. I think it was very difficult. I spent 2 years appearing in front of the Tax Commission, the Gaming Commission, on what the taxes meant. 2 years. That was twice a week I went in front of somebody to clear that up. That's a bad way to do tax policy, and I think we ought to spend a lot more time over the next 12 months looking at that.
Well, what about, we have such a problem with our infrastructure, our roads in Las Vegas and Reno and rural Nevada, flood control problems. Mm-hmm. Why don't we take that extra cash from the taxes and fix our roads?
Well, number one, you have to remember the roads are a separate funding source. They're different from what the money is we collected in the general fund. So we tried to make that an issue in the last session. We tried to say, let's take that $300 million, we've got it, and let's plug some hole, whether it's in Medicaid or whether it's in the Public Employees Retirement Fund, or beg the public for forgiveness and take that general fund money and put it into the highway fund. We weren't successful in doing that. What we have to do is get the public to understand there are road issues that need to be dealt with. There are other infrastructure. I'll tell you, it's $750 million, the last number I heard for Reno's flood control program. We don't have a dime for that. So I think that's one that's going to be challenged, challenge all of us. We're not going to be out of work, let's just put it that way. We're going to be challenged. I think we're going to go from an 18 to a 19-hour day.
Let me ask you one last quick question. Who are you supporting for governor?
Who am I supporting for governor? Me, but I'm not in the race, so it's a little tough. I like
Sam's
all this,
running.
Sam, you're running, then you're my guy. Can I get Don Imus to endorse you, and then I'll be on his team with you?
Me and Kinky Friedman, then.
Yeah.
Who are you supporting for governor?
I've been a supporter of Jim Gibbons from the beginning. I think they're all qualified. I'll work with all of them. I have good friends. I think I still have good friends in all of them that are in the race, and who knows if somebody else gets in.
But Gibbons is the one you're supporting?
I have from the beginning.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. Just 10 minutes east of Sparks. We're proud that Walmart and other Fortune 500 companies have chosen Tahoe Reno Industrial Center to relocate their businesses. We have sites from under 5 acres to well over 500 acres, and with all of the amenities that every successful corporation requires. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, and we're building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, Safe Ride Home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe voting campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
The resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And our Power Pundit panel today, Joe Guild is with us. We also have Elisa Major and Scott Bensing, who's Chief of Staff to Senator John Ensign. Welcome to all of you. So did we break a little news here this morning with Senator Townsend's pronouncements about rolling back taxes?
Yeah, I think, well, it's no secret that the budget is producing a lot of, all these new taxes are producing a lot of revenue, and we saw it in this last legislative session. It was a fight over the big pot of money, and so the people who want to fight over that pot of money are probably going to oppose Senator Townsend's idea of rolling back the taxes, but as a taxpayer, I kind of like the idea.
Any other thoughts?
I think that they were under such pressure in the last two sessions to get some solutions done that certainly wouldn't hurt to go back and say, okay, what needs to be refined?
I would certainly get the sense that Senator Ensign would very much approve of what Senator Townsend.
Well, we've got our own sets of challenges at the federal level, but normally cutting taxes is good, yes.
But address Ray's point, which is that we also have lots of problems in the Silver State that need money to resolve them. How do you balance that out?
Well, we certainly do, and we've got, at least from the federal level, we need to show some fiscal restraint, and very proud to say that Senator Ensign has been a leader in that area. But the very second you start to talk about fiscal restraint, everybody thinks their program is going to be cut. I believe all of us could look through any number of these federal programs and find 5 or 10% of spending that doesn't need to happen. Efficiencies through technology or otherwise that can be worked into the system, and unless you take a stand and say we're going to consider everything and bring more folks to the table, you're never going to get there. And I think that's certainly we have increased demands, transportation being one of them. But we've got to be able to draw the line somewhere and look into programs that heretofore people have not been willing to look into.
Well, and let me just add real quick on the state level. I know it'll sound selfish because I'm married to a teacher, but our schools do need increased funding. The teachers need, I think they need substantial raises, frankly. There's resource issues that need to be funded. The schools themselves, in my wife's case, they have the natural gas source leaks every once in a while. They have to evacuate the whole school. The roof leaks. So we need to pay some attention to follow on Ray's point to some of these needs. So roll back, but let's fund some significant needs too.
You know, we've all probably had frustrations getting here in the morning with the freeway tie-ups. They're worse in Las Vegas. We still rank 48th, 49th in per pupil spending, not overall public school spending, but per pupil spending, we're at the bottom. Why don't we address some of these issues with this extra money?
Well, I think that, you know, like Scott said, there needs to be a balance along with this, and that you have to look at what you can cut as well as, you know, things that you need to finance. I think once you get down closer to where, you know, you're at the baseline, then you can look toward what you want to spend on, just like everybody does in their own personal budgets.
I think if the payroll tax were rolled back to a fair level, I think that a lot of the complaints may go away.
Would you agree, Lisa?
I don't know what, I'm not sure about that, but I do think that one of the big challenges for our state is with a 120-day legislative session, it's real hard for them to actually, you know, talk to everyone, involve them in the decisions, and come up with the best solution sometimes.
Okay, you know, inside I'm screaming right now because we can't take more than 120 days. I mean, we really can't. We would
There's a lot of news out there after 120 days in our session.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. I want to wish the Marine Corps happy birthday today. Mr. Bellew, thank you for that suggestion. Scott brought that up as well. Senator Ensign has this major telecommunications legislation going through, and one of the things that's popped up is a discussion about how this may affect the future of public access television, the channels where members of the public can record their own programs and play them. Would you explain to us what that portion of the bill is?
Basically, and it will be the largest rewrite of telecommunication laws since the 96 Act. And what we've looked at is, federally, we've got to be very careful that what we do regulatory it does not impede progress and impede new technologies. So what the Senator's done is put together a bill that is largely deregulatory in nature to allow things like a voice-over internet protocol where you use your computer to talk to folks. Things of that nature are popping up all the time, and as governments, local, state, or federal, we can't get our arms around those things, so our options are to, one, try to regulate, or two, kind of tear down those walls and let people compete in the marketplace. For things like public access television, there's been a lot of talk about if the regulation's not there, we won't have space for these things. What we want to do is open up the marketplace and allow these things. I mean, we see today through the internet, through satellite, through cable, there is no shortage of opportunities to see local access programs, all cable. I mean, I've got 500 channels on cable program. That stuff will be there if we allow the market to work, and new shows like your dining show get to people who want to see it, have access to it, and that's the thrust of our initiative.
Okay, we're out of time for today, but I want to come back and talk to you more about this. Yes, we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
Yeah. I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Peppermill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Peppermill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Peppermill. Where are you dining?
You can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day on NevadaNewsmakers.com.
Next week, Sam, we have gubernatorial candidate Dina Titus, y'all. We have Carolyn Goodman, the wife of Oscar Goodman, and Reno's John Sandy.
See you then.